Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Dum Dum Die, but not really, because it's actually James and Discussions, because we're having a little break because of life. Today, we are interviewing the wonderful, the magical, the ever omnipresent Maoukami. Mao, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Mao.
I like cheese.
Well, cheese is good. I like more energy drinks, I think, which is a bad thing. But yeah, my name is Mao, and I am from Maoukami Cosplay. So I have been cosplaying for almost 4 years. At Rage, it should be 4 years, I think.
Timey-wimey, this is being released around Rage time. Also, Rage, for all our international listeners, is like... I can't think of an esports convention overseas. It's like that. More esports related, but also has some awesome cosplay and geeky stuff.
And apparently this year they're kicking all the LANers to the one wing. So
they're going shoving them in the corner.
Yeah, so then we don't have to see or smell them. And then the rest of the convention's open to us now.
So now I can actually attend
Yeah.
and not have my eyes water.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, because, I mean, they already tried to keep them in the cage, but the cage just wasn't working against the smell. And, like, sometimes you could see them startle when you look at them.
Also, we love all our fans who are LANers. Deep respect, deep respect. Deep respect from afar. From very far away.
Hey, if I can take shade, then I can give it.
Fair enough. I'm sure they will also have plenty things to say about the cosplayers too.
I have plenty things to say about cosplayers. Like,
so, Ma, yourself in a nutshell.
Tired. To be honest, that's like an adjective that describes most cosplayers, because we all just work ourselves way too hard, and then we end up going, "What is that? The sun? I haven't slept in 3 days."
I forgot what life is.
What is life? Yeah, no, we work a little bit too hard.
Well, I mean, I know it's work, but if you love it.
Yeah, that's the thing, that you always have to find a balance, because if you work so hard that you end up hating it, then what's actually the point of doing it?
Exactly. So, you have been cosplaying for almost a whole toddler. Was that around the same time that you kind of got into geek culture in the first place?
Actually, I think it was more 5 years ago. So I was 17, I think, that like a friend of mine was like, "Oh, I'm watching anime. Why don't you try this?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I watched it and I was like, "Oh, this is awesome." And then I just kind of fell into a rabbit hole.
It always starts with the anime.
Yeah, it really does. And then, like, once I was in anime, then I started getting onto Tumblr, and that's when it just went downhill.
The deep dark hole that is Tumblr.
Yeah, it's just like you tumble down.
Oh. God, you're just as funny as Carla. Carla, I love you. Please don't kill Oriole. Also, by the way, my name is Kirsten. I'm interviewing Mao, and I completely forgot to introduce myself in the beginning. So, here I am. Cool. So, what was, besides the anime, when was your first kind of dabble in role playing?
Well, it was my first cosplay event, which was Rage 4 years ago, because I was obsessed over this one anime called Attack on Titan, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love Eren, he's my favorite character." And then when I had the opportunity to go to Rage, then like I threw together my little cosplay, and I was like, "I'm gonna be Eren." And then I went to Rage, and like seeing how many people were like so excited to see a character that I love as well, I was like, I like this.
This is cool.
I like this. And then I've always been a drama kid, so I always kind of was like, no, you need to be the character.
Cannot simply dress as the character.
Clothes does not make the person.
Clothes does not a character make. Clothes are simply but wet rags.
And clothes are simply unnecessary.
Yet we spend so much time on them. Ultimate questions for life.
Yeah.
And since we are a D&T podcast, I will ask, how was your first adventure into the game of Dungeons and Dragons?
Well, it was kind of humiliating at one point because, so now it was me, my girlfriend, and then my brother and sister, and we were busy playing.
So you just made it a whole family affair.
Well, basically, but like I'm more of a believer in like family you choose for yourself. So my brother was like, "Oh no, I'm going to be the DM," and then it was just the three of us. So it was a very small party. So then he like catered everything because we were tiny, and because it was Chia and I's first time, and I went for like, I think it was a half-elf druid and it was badass and it was so amazing. And then the first roll that I have is to get onto the horse and I roll a 1. So I knock myself unconscious and I'm like,
wow, oh my gosh.
And I was just like, why me?
Why not you is the question.
I don't know, like I was hoping to be like this badass character and then this...
So basically, you were like Xantalarian incarnate, but with more of a love for animals.
I don't know. I just kind of failed. Except while I failed out of combat, when I was in combat, then I was like the MVP. I was
amazing.
Like I fire this fireball. It's a natural 20. All of them are incinerated type of thing, and then
just don't try and get in a horse.
Yeah, if I try to do anything else, then it's just like, oh, it's dead again.
That does seem to be the thing with druids, though, especially low-level druids. They're wonderful in some areas, and then in life, they're just not.
They're just like, oh.
It's like, oh, rabbit. The rabbit attacks. There's no more druid for the rabbit.
Yeah, it's kind of like in cosplay when you're like, oh, wow, I can do this. I can make this costume. Get out of cosplay, and you're like, oh, I hate people. Social anxiety.
Oh. Do the fans get to be quite much? Like, what have been your experiences of people as you were cosplaying?
Actually, like, okay, so the latest convention was Comic-Con, and
Comic-Con Africa, it was the first one ever.
And I was lucky enough to have a panel on anti-bullying. Mm-hmm. So a couple of people went, and then afterwards, like I had like a couple of people come up to me and they say, "Oh no, we've been fans of you for a long time, and we're so happy to meet you." And they were just so cute, and I was just like, "Can I hug you, please?
Please, can I love you,
so
my
like,
little chicklets?"
So like, yeah, I did actually adopted them. I was like, "Okay, I have 2 more chickens. Let's go." But yeah, I like people like that, people that are nice and they're genuine. I have absolutely no problem talking to and entertaining because I am very loud at conventions. I'm always talking. You can't get me to shut up. That's how people find me. They like listen. They're like, oh, that's a Maou. So then
I was looking for you. I didn't hear you. There were a lot of people.
Yeah,
I tried though.
I think my voice like faded off into the distance, so I need to work on that.
I think a lot of us lost our voice, to be honest.
Oh, actually, I did lose my voice. But yeah, like the people, if they're nice people, then I absolutely do not mind. But I also give off a little bit of an aura of don't mess with me or people around me. So I've never experienced any like bad things, but people
no one
around
being,
me
like demanding saying, "Take a picture with me now."
Yeah, because then I go no, and then I walk away.
Fair enough. Cosplay is not consent, people.
It isn't.
Please always remember that.
Yeah, so like some of my friends have experienced like bad things because they either get overwhelmed in the moment and they don't know how to say like, no, please don't do that or don't touch me. And then you get me and I just kind of waltz in between my friend and the person. I'm like, you can leave now. And then this person...
Ooh, I just got chills down my spine. Okay.
Yeah, because I think Chia was cosplaying Lucy from Fairy Tale. Mm-hmm. And then I think I was cosplaying Natsu. And these 2 guys were like, "Oh no, can we get a photo with you guys?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, let's take a photo." And then they took a photo. And they're like, "Oh, can we take a photo with just Lucy now?" And I was like, "Actually, no, you can't." And then just take Chia and I walked away.
Yes, like that is my girlfriend. Thank you very much.
Because like if they were just like, "Can I please get a photo with Lucy? She's my favorite." Yes, of course you can, you sweet child. But if you're going to be like
creepy about it,
I can sense your intentions. No.
Fair enough. People, please remember that cosplayers are people too. They have feelings. They're maybe not lives, but they have feelings. Okay?
Yeah, we don't have lives, sorry.
So your first foray, when you were playing Aryan, was there one fan in particular that you kind of encountered and you were like, yes, this is one, or was it just the whole experience?
It wasn't just one fan. I think it was just the sheer amount of people that were like, oh my God, it's Eren from Attack on Titan. They don't say it's someone cosplaying as Eren. They say it is Eren. And I was like, yes, it is. It is Eren.
Well, yes, I am. Thank you.
Yeah, so that was what drew me into it, because I was like, if I'm making so many other people happy and I'm making myself happy, that is the best situation. So that's why I started cosplaying, because I was like, no, this win-win situation, I like it.
As a person who is still in the newborn baby phase / maybe terrible twos of geek culture, my first foray into Comic-Con Africa and seeing so many people actually dressing up in cosplay.
And there was a lot of new people, which made me so happy.
Of new people. It was stunning, but it was just, it made me so happy. Like, I would be DMing my game at the role-playing section, and I'm playing Dread.
I didn't even see the role-playing section.
I was playing Dread, which is horror-based role-playing, and I'd be like, oh my God, Ursula, I love you! And like just scream at a woman who had like beautiful tentacles and was Ursula, the sea witch from this Little Mermaid. And it was just like,
cool.
I'd be in the middle of like, you are in this haunted hotel room. No. Oh my God, Ursula! So like for me, I don't actually think I took pictures with anyone, but I would honestly just scream and say, you're amazing, I love you, you're the bomb.
Yeah, something that I've actually started doing recently that is honestly one of my favorite things to do is going around the convention, and when you see a new cosplayer, like I think I saw, it was this girl, sweetest thing, she was cosplaying Wonder Woman, and she actually entered in the competition, and like when she came out, I was like, oh my God, you look amazing, well done, is this your first time? And she's like, yeah, no, this is my first time entering. And I'm like, well, you look amazing, so good luck. I hope you feel very proud of yourself. And like seeing people's face light up when you compliment them, and I'm like, these precious children.
Oh, my little chickens.
Oh, my chickens. You know, like there's that one comic of like it's like this wolf, and it's carrying like this struggling child, and it's like carrying it, puts it in a nest with all these other children, and then the wolf just like curls up around the thing, and it's just like, I'm fine here. Mama wolf protects all.
Aww, that's so cute. I must say, yeah, with the new role players that we ended up, I actually got a couple of new people who never role played before in my Dread games, and I was like, okay.
Well, good luck, children.
Yes, you won't survive this, but I love you anyway. And yeah, they also became my little chickens. And shout out to anyone who was part of any of my role playing games at Comic-Con Africa. I love you guys. You're amazing. And you're my chickens, just so you know. And so, Mao, why? Why do you do it? Why do you cosplay?
It's definitely, it's rooted in the making people happy. Like I had a little bit of a mission, I think it was last year, that I actually got a little bit sidetracked, that I became too focused on the numbers. So I was like, no, but I need to get a bigger stage following, well, not stage following, a bigger social media platform following, because I'm not reaching enough people and I'm not making enough people happy. I don't know. It didn't even make sense in my head.
Not everyone is happy.
I don't understand. So then I kept like overworking myself, and then I didn't end up enjoying what I was doing anymore. So then I had to like just take a step back, and then I got back to it around Christmas time, because I just randomly got this idea. I'm like, I'm going to do a 12 Days of Christmas set, and we're going to take a different character for each day. Let's go. And obviously my girlfriend was like, can we not do that?
I was about to ask, how long would that take?
Well, it took a couple of weeks, like of weekends work, but like putting that together and like having, like using creativity to do something that I actually wanted to do made me happy, because I was like, okay, now I've found my groove again. So then this year it's been a lot more of, I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to.
And have you found that the reception has been better since you took that step back? Or the engagement?
I actually haven't even noticed, in a sense, because I have stopped caring about like any negative response. So if people liked it, I was like, awesome. If people didn't respond, I was like, I don't care, I like it anyway. And then with the like, I always say when the Fire Nation attacked, because like the viral video that made my YouTube go wee, and then I just suddenly have people that are replying to me on things now, and I'm like, where the hell did you go?
Where are you watching me?
Yeah, so, but like I feel happier now, because now, admittedly, it is nice to know that someone is listening when you're speaking. So it's nice to make a video and know that someone's actually going to watch it. It does feel nice. But I do still remember that I mustn't just cosplay for other people. I must cosplay for myself.
Because it's all about you. No.
It's always about me.
It's always about the chickens. And who have you cut? I know it's going to be a long list, but like, let's pick the highlights package of who've been your favorite cosplays and why.
Okay, well, one of my definite favorites is Noctis from Final Fantasy 15. Because he's just like an edgy child, and you're just like this emo little boy that was let loose into Hot Topic. Someone protect him. Because really, he does, like, if you put him next to all the other Final Fantasy heroes, they all have like these magnificent things. He just looks like a teenager that was led into Hot Topic, and now he doesn't know what's going on. And like, he's just such a relatable character. So I really love cosplaying him because, one, because I worked really hard on his outfit, but two, because I relate to him as a person, and I'm like, yeah. This awkward child, I like him.
You can stay.
You can stay. Like, I have a lot of favorite characters, but Noctis is definitely one of my top ones. I suppose another character that would be close to my heart is Link from Legend of Zelda, because I went to Japan with him. So, like, he will always be like a soft spot. And I'm like, okay, no, I like my Linkles.
So just give a bit of context on what Japan was.
Okay, so me and my cosplay partner, Kelsey Jinx Kitty Cosplay, we went through to Japan for the World Cosplay Summit to represent South Africa.
Yay!
So we were the first representatives, and we were nervous as hell.
Did that social anxiety
like,
kick in?
Like, it was actually pretty funny because both of us, because we both suffer from some form of anxiety, not a day went past that one of us didn't have an attack.
Oh my word.
But because we have different attacks, then like the other one would always be there to help. And then like we just kind of got through sheerly by like just leaning on each other and going like, we can do this. But it was
okay.
But it was definitely like an unforgettable experience. And also meeting cosplayers from around the world was incredible as well.
And did you guys share like any cosplay secrets with each other, or is it very competitive?
Actually, like I thought it would be competitive, and like some of the teams, they did give off that vibe of, oh no, I'm only going to talk to you if you're useful to me.
Oh, that's sad.
But
don't do that.
But then, like for instance, Team India, we made friends with because they are so similar to South Africans. So we were just like, we're home.
I'm with my people.
So like, we just, because they lived actually next door to us. Like they were in the hotel room next to us. When we first saw them, we thought they were like really bitchy and we didn't actually want to deal with them. And then like, I think we ran into them at some point and one of them was just bitching about something, but just really funny. And we're just like, okay, we like these ones.
We like this kind.
Yeah, so we like people like that, and then everyone kind of shares things like, if you go to the judging, you ask, oh no, like how did you do this? And they're like, oh well, I did this and I did that and then I did this and the trick I learned was this. And people don't mind sharing tips because we've all worked hard to get there. So what's the point of keeping those secrets away from each other?
Okay, so there's no like trade secrets of cosplaying.
Well,
I mean,
like,
I'm sure there are, but still.
Not that I've heard, because I mean, I think everyone knows secrets. I think like everyone knows how to do it. It's just how well you do it. So
fair enough. And as a person who's very ignorant of cosplaying but loves the wonderful results, if someone wanted to get into cosplaying, how would you suggest that they start?
This is actually such a sensitive question because, oh my God, people always ask like online, they're like, oh no, I want to get started. How? And I'm like, Google it. Literally.
No, that's an answer. Google it, people.
Like, I can't, like, I'm actually getting so triggered because people just don't Google. And I'm like, why?
Don't worry. I get asked questions at work all the time.
Like,
Kirsten,
really?
how do I do this? Actually, I also ask those questions. I apologize. We're colleagues of mine. I do not Google it, and I should probably Google it.
But I mean, like, they ask things like, oh no, where do I get wigs? I'm like, have you tried typing in cosplay wigs?
Where do I get
Google is an
wigs?
amazing thing. It's 2018, the 21st century. Google is very knowledgeable. It will know what you want.
And where you want it.
Like, really, people, if you just Google things, you find so many things. And then people, like, I think I'm more tolerant to people that are like, oh no, how do I do this? Because I'm like, okay, maybe you haven't found the right tutorial. But people that ask stupid questions, then I'm like, Oh, did you even try?
So when it comes to cosplay competitions, so let's say for like all the people who want to kind of enter next year, what would be the tips and tricks? So obviously you can't get your costumes professionally made.
So it depends on the cosplay competition's rules, because if they're most of them, well, it depends which company's running it. So most of them are run by GES. If they run by AI Fest, then they might have a different set of rules. But always check the rules beforehand. I know that if you're entering, like, it depends on the divisions you're entering as well. So, for instance, for most GES competitions, which are the majority of what you'll find in South Africa, so you'll have the actual cosplayer section, division, which is your outfit and how you're acting. And then you have the representation, which is purely how you're acting. So they don't judge your costume.
Okay.
And then they have the construction, which is purely costume. And then you can actually put it on a model. You don't even have to do it yourself, because they're just marking how well it's made.
But it always looks better on a human that moves.
No, like they put it on a human model.
Okay,
they don't like bring in a mannequin.
Oh yes,
that would be cheating. I think.
Speaking of your mannequins,
because I think that would just be cheating. Because I think then you can sew it to the mannequin. You're like, don't say anything.
And I know you have a couple of mannequins that have some special names.
Yes, because I collect all my mannequins because they're all useful for different things. So like my male mannequin, which is good for all my male cosplays because it like has the right like shoulders and the waist,
the male physique
and the male butt,
the
male butt. So his name is Dennis. So that's Dennis, and then my female mannequin is Denise. Dennis and Denise.
And then, do they stand next to each other?
Yes.
Holding non-existent
they're not
hands.
they don't really care much for each other. They're just kind of standing.
They're just there. Okay.
And then I have like a plastic mannequin that has like a stand and everything. That one's Petrus. That one's possessed by a ghost, but it's okay.
Okay.
He likes to touch butts, but he's harmless.
Oh, okay.
So like people who come to like my workroom and it's like the middle of the night, they're like, "Did you just touch my ass?" And I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Oh, okay."
Must have been Petrus.
Yeah, it was just Petrus. He's just getting frisky. Like,
does Petrus actually have arms?
No, actually. So it's just legs and then arms and then, well, no arms. Torso. So it's like just torso and then there's no head either. So he like wears my, like this little Mimi-chan outfit and he's happy in that. So he just chills.
Petrus can wear his Mimi-chan outfit and grip.
Yeah, he looks great in it. The only time that he likes another outfit is if it's like Kelsey, when she came up to Durban, she put her Zelda dress on there. Because she's so tiny, she's actually the size of the mannequin. So it actually fit the mannequin. And Petrus was happy. He's like, "I look like a princess."
I look fabulous.
Yes, I like this one.
And Maou, what do you day in your everyday English?
Do you want to try that again?
What do you do in your everyday life?
I do online editing for a newspaper, so I correct people's wrong English.
I so asked this question perfectly.
I don't judge people that are intelligent.
Fair enough.
Because if you're going to give me a stupid drivel piece, I'm going to mock it a little bit. But if you're intelligent when speaking to me, then you pass. You may live.
You may live. You can live another day and not be turned into Petrus.
No, Petrus is special to me.
Yes, it's got a place in all our hearts. I want to see a picture of Petrus now.
I'll ask.
And what? Okay, this is a very... How do I put this? This is a very odd question for a cosplayer, but what do you do in your free time? Besides cosplay?
Normal cosplayers actually do have free time when they're like, "Oh no, I'm taking a break from this, so I'm going to, I don't know, play games or something." But I, for some reason, am like an unstoppable workaholic, so I always have to work on something. I mean, these days I can't even watch anime without saying, "No, but I need to be doing something." So
is it like you're sewing the costume while you're watching your anime?
Yeah, so I'll play it play it there, and then I'll like either by hand sewing something or like, because I have a lot of wigs that I restore for other people. So then I'll just like put up the little mannequin head and I'll just like brush out wigs while watching. I always have to be busy with something. So I mean, like, in my free time, I do things, but it's all things that I work hard at, so it's never really resting.
Fair enough. And what other awesome geek culture things do you like to dabble in?
Well, I like writing fan fiction. So I think that actually started before cosplay, writing fan fiction, because I've always liked the English language. So I started writing, and then
You can like the English.
I can like the English. But so I started, and then I put it down for a while, and then I picked it up again, I think last year, November, because there's a National Novel Writing Month, which is November, NaNoWriMo. And then everyone, like, the goal is to write a novel, 50,000 words in a month. So, like, your first draft. And it's really difficult. I made it halfway last year. The previous year I only made it 5 days, but I'm getting there, and I'm so determined to do it one day.
Oh, I believe in you. I could, writing is not my thing. Not my thing.
Yeah,
I would improv my way through the world.
I do improv a lot, but that's why I hardly ever plan out my stories, because I'm like, I'll get to it. People are like, oh, I can't wait to see what happens next. I'm like, me neither.
I have no idea what's going on here.
Exactly, yeah.
You think I'm in control?
I am not in control.
And I know one other geek thing that you like to do is take some amazing photos.
I don't know if it's a geek thing, but I do like to take photos of geek things. So
yes,
I suppose
to be fair, you've taken beautiful photos of Wednesday.
Well, thank you.
And of us.
Of Wednesday. I think of all of you.
Yes, but also Wednesday is just that magical creature that we love to see pictures of. She is wonderful and ethereal and amazing. And we love you, Wednesday. And I'm done punting the Wednesday team now. But yes, so how did your photography turn into, I want to start shooting these amazing characters? Was it just an extension of the cosplay, or was the photography there before?
Well, it was definitely something that I got into after I started with cosplay, because I think I had like a little bridge camera. It was a Nikon something, but it was like basically it's a glorified Muckendruck.
Okay.
Which is what is that in English?
I have no cooking clue. I just like the sound.
Just click and...
It's like a point and shoot.
Point and shoot. There we go. Yeah. That's it. My bad.
I can like the Afrikaans.
I can like the Afrikaans.
I can like the Afrikaans.
But yeah, so I was using that, and then I just took like a couple of photos. I was like, oh, this is actually pretty fun. And because I was taking a gap year at that time, my parents were like, you need to decide what you're doing with your life. And I was like, photography.
Let's just do that. Okay.
So then I did it, and I was like, oh, this is pretty fun. And then when I was like faced with, oh no, do this as a career, I was like, I don't like being creative on demand.
It's true. Yeah. I feel the same thing with my photography. Like, I love to take pictures of landscapes, and I actually don't like to do a lot of editing on my photography.
Whereas, like, I really enjoy the editing process.
You love the editing, and your editing is absolutely stunning. But it's, for me, my parents were also like, do you want to do a career in photography? And I'm like, no.
I mean, the newspaper where I work, I actually interned there as a photographer for a bit.
Oh, wow.
So for a week, I followed around this one photographer, and I don't know, it's just, it's such a stressful environment, because you have to go out, you have to get that shot, it has to be good, and then you have to go find the next story, and I'm like, I don't know.
It's a lot of travel to get a few photos that...
I don't know, like, I wasn't fond of that. And, like, my parents were also like, oh, well, why don't you go into journalism? And I'm like, my curiosity, I am not curious enough. I do not care enough to want to know things. So, no.
Saying, oh, look, there's an incident happening over there. That's nice.
Exactly. Like, I mean, being an editor is awesome, because I get the stories in, and, like, I have a routine. Open it up, edit it, okay, publish. There we go. I don't have to care.
You don't have to go out and get the story. No, you don't have to take photos of the story.
I mean, like,
you don't have to find
the online writers work really hard, because they're always like looking for that tweet, looking for that story, and then writing this, and then, oh, this is breaking news. And then I just chill, do my job as I do it well, and there we go. Perfect. I literally have my own desk, earphones. I don't need to talk to anyone. I just message through Skype. They're literally like behind me. I don't talk to them. I'm on Skype. Don't talk.
And Mao, is there anything that I haven't covered that you would like to talk about with regards to anything in life?
Well, something that just came to mind was so I am quite involved in like the anti-bullying movement in cosplay community, but also I believe it extends to the geek community, because a lot of geeks were bullied at school because all of us were like not really understood. We made weird references. People didn't understand us. We were weird. And so
Still
a lot of
are
us,
proud of it.
exactly. We haven't changed.
We haven't changed.
Well, maybe we got a little bit more hard skinned, but but yeah. So I think it's like definitely a topic that I always focus on, trying to spread good messages. So I think that's also something that I learned with the YouTube channel, that now that people are actually listening, I need to be careful of what I actually say. So because what was it? I think 20% of my viewers are under 18. And I'm like,
oh, wow. Impressionable people.
And I'm like, protect the young children minds. Oh
Protect
my
the
God.
chickens.
Yeah, so I make sure that like when I say things that I'm not making a bad like
assumption. And
yeah, so when I say, oh no, I'm not, when I say, oh no, people do this, and I say, I personally don't do this, but people do that. And I think being conscious of that just makes me kinder to people in general. So I think, yeah, like in general, I think people just need to be kinder to geeks, yes, but also geeks need to be kinder within the community, because like
there's a lot of judgment amongst each other.
Because like gamers might not understand cosplayers, and then like cosplayers are like, oh no, look at these things and look at those, and like we're all weird. Let's just be weird together.
Yeah. I apologize for the LAN people that we judged a bit earlier.
I'm not judging you, because honestly, cosplayers smell worse, so it's fine.
I did not know that.
I'm one of them, because we're all tired. We don't.
You're all just sweating. It's hot.
Yeah, cosplays are hot. We don't. We're hot. Conventions are hot. We just.
There was actually a guy at Comic-Con Africa who dressed up as a space marine from Warhammer.
I think his name was Francois.
That was the only cosplay Tristan took a picture with.
Yeah,
he was just like,
his
that
work
is the
incredible.
guy. That is the guy.
I think he did it out of foam, and then like he 3D printed the details and stuff.
It was phenomenal, but I was just like, that boy is going to pass out inside that outfit. The guy who also played Deadpool also.
Him too, but also the guy from Mauritius. I think his name was Fred something, I'm not sure, but he was the Predator, so it was like this, it was his costume, but it was like everything was like covered in latex and stuff, and I was like,
yes. Even our Wednesday,
shame when she was cosplaying 02.
Yeah, she was cosplaying 02 one of the Comic-Con days, and she was literally covered in latex from head to toe.
Yeah, I remember when she sent me that picture, I'm like, sweetie, are you sure?
Yeah, and I had to help her in the bathroom and like get all the baby powder in so she could actually put the outfit back on.
No.
I was just like, Phew! No, thanks. We actually had friends who'd never cosplayed in their life, which is what made me so proud of them. They cosplayed as the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, was it them?
So they cosplayed as Powerpuff, the guys who dressed up as the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, oh my God, they were awesome.
So they even made the masks. I know their Jared's girlfriend made all those masks.
Oh, that's
and
so cool.
Sewed the dresses for them. Even like as they were in the car, she sewed cell phone pockets into their Powerpuff Girl dresses.
I saw that. I was like, that's clever.
And one of the guys played Professor X. It was brilliant. And I was like, cool. Out of all the cosplays, I mean, they were really struggling with the masks on their heads.
Obviously.
But the dresses were really breathable. And they learned so many things about wearing a dress for a day. Like chafing. People, it happens. Okay? Heat rashes get there for a reason.
It's always great though, because like cosplayers can bond over silly things like that.
Exactly.
I mean, like the amounts of cosplayers that, I mean, I don't really care about gender because I myself am more non-binary. So like, I think a friend of mine, he's a he, but he was cosplaying, I think he was cosplaying Supergirl. He is like, Sean, you are the greatest freaking trap. It's amazing. and it's so great because he's like, no, I cosplay girls because I want to be a trap. And I'm just like, yes. So I actually met him in the girls' bathroom when he was like busy fixing his makeup and stuff. And like, I looked at him like, you need to teach me this because your makeup skills are amazing.
Yeah. Teach me your makeup secrets.
Yeah, so like everyone bonds over odd things, and I think that's cool.
Mom, this interview has been much longer than I was anticipating.
Yeah,
but that's because I've been having so much fun, and I love hearing about what...
I told you that I don't shut up.
And neither do I. So, Tristan, this is basically your fault. Just so you know. So, Maou, where can we find you on the social medias?
Well, if you type in...
And the YouTubes.
Well, if you type in Maoukami, then most of the tags should come up.
That's Maouu. No, AKA. See, I got this wrong, and I tagged another photographer, and he's like, "That's really cool," but no. And I was like,
well, like on most of the things, so it's Maoukami, so Maoukami, and then if that fails, then Maoukami Cosplay, and if that fails, Maoukami.cos.
One of them, you're bound to get something, people.
Yeah. Normally, if you type in Maoukami, then something will pop up, and then you're like, there it is.
And do you have any exciting plans for the future that people can look forward to?
I don't have
You can say no.
I don't have. I try not to think too far in advance because then I forget about little things. So I try to make everything a big exciting thing. So then, like, every video is new excitement, there, and then...
And who are you planning to go as for Rage?
For one of the days, I'm going to be cosplaying Ryoko from Kill la Kill. So...
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm not doing the battle version, not now, but I'm doing the school uniform version, and then my girlfriend's going to be cosplaying Mako, and then we're going to be doing a skit, and that's going to be fun.
And do you two cosplay a lot together?
Sometimes. Chia is a student, so she actually doesn't have as much time to make things. But when she does cosplay, then we have fun anyway, even if we're not cosplaying from the same thing. But then if we do cosplay from the same thing, then we just have more fun. So
guys, couple cosplaying. Those are real couple goals, okay? Real couple goals.
Because let me tell you, cosplay couples, like... cosplaying with your partner, like, it's not always easy because everyone has different ways of cosplaying. So sometimes those ways mesh and you're like, oh, wait.
Oops. And, oh, don't worry. I get stressed enough doing the Halloween couples costume. Tristan and I have so far been Mary Poppins and the chimney sweep, whose name is now eluding me, and Minnie and Mickey Mouse.
That's cute, though.
We'll see what happens this year. It's getting very close. I should probably make a plan.
You can, he can be Bob Ross and you can be a Bob Ross painting.
Yes. All I need is the canvas.
Yeah, so just like get a box and then...
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. I'm definitely going to do that.
Then just get him an afro.
Can you imagine an afro in this South African heat? Whew. And you've got a whole cosplay to do.
You know, actually, like, I'm so unsympathetic for the South African heat now, because when we went to WCS, it was so unbelievably hot. It was over 40 degrees every day.
Do people not pass out in their costumes?
That's what I was going to get to, because 3 people consecutively fainted. So until that happens, it's not that hot. So every person that complained at Comic-Con, they're like, oh my God, it's so hot. I'm like, are you going to faint? No? Well, then you're not that hot.
Do I need to get a pillow for you to faint on? No? Then you're not.
Yeah.
But did you die?
Yeah, are you dying? No? Well, then shh.
Sounds like cosplayers are a bit of a glutton for
Punishment,
pain
yeah.
and punishment.
Yeah, we're all just like, we're suffering, but hey,
great.
We look amazing.
I will die beautiful.
This is too accurate, I'm sorry.
But Maou, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I look forward to seeing your career in the future and all the amazing, wonderful things. And good luck at Rage.
Thank you.
And we will speak to you soon, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
And for those of you who are listening, who are like Kirsten, you've chatted way too much, please get off. You can find us all on the social medias where I chat some more, but not all the time. Carla's mainly the one who responds. But you'll know it's me if you say if you see it's from Oriole. So keep a lookout, people. Also, if you've got any questions, please send them through. I will be happy to answer them for you to the best of my ability. Otherwise, Carla will answer them because she's cool like that. Okay. Lots of love, people. See you soon. Bye-bye. Hello. Okay, so testing 1, 2, 3. We are all fine.